Hey guys, Tuesday, December 31st, 2024, last day of the year. Let's see what the Black Widow is going to do today. I don't know if it's going to do much because the Black Widow gave us everything she got yesterday. So I want to go back in hindsight and just kind of look at things, get a kind of a replay. First thing, I overlooked my market profile on the monthly. The monthly had good clues to saying that there's going to be possible target resistance. You know what it was showing? This area right here. Look at the bottom of that area right here. That was 419, 420. Look where we stalled. And if you look to your left, we are below the December pivot high of 390. And we are also below the pivot high of 492. So this is one you want to look into the future. These pivot, this pivot, and obviously we are above the October 27 high of 364. Yep. So right now, that was the clue. That was the first clue. If you would have zoomed out, and I didn't look at this, I just started, trading and getting excited with the move and all that. And looking at other things, but this one, I think I have to just make it a habit of just kind of look at this before the U.S. session starts, and then work my way down from here. So this would have helped us all, or even myself, to lock in profits once we got to and I did post it on a comment on my YouTube. It was kind of funny. Somebody kept putting comments, and then I just kind of in real time, putting targets and just trailing my stop, and eventually then I got stopped out. But 419, 420 market profile on the monthly was telling you that's going to be some hard headwinds, and we stole right there. Look at the volume. The volume was not as high. I mean, what was this, November? Look at November's price action. November and December. And this is November, and this is December. And 2018 was way crazier than what we had now. But look at that. We were just right below it, but below October of 2019 volume. And I think we beat September 2021 volume right here. Interesting. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of start off with that. Let's look at the weekly and see if there was any clues there. So the weekly also was giving you clues. If I would have looked at the weekly, and I didn't think it was going to go that high, but look at that. Right there, I was going to tell you, right below that 421 possible resistance, you're getting into the market profile right there. And the good news is that we are above the anchored VWAP from the October high. So that's good. And let's go straight to the daily real quick. The daily was not helpful, but you did see this area right here, and I noticed that. But it could have probably pushed even to here or here, so it's a little more messy on the daily. But you could tell that anywhere between 444, 430ish around there. I was even saying 407, which is a value area high, and we pierced it, but we were getting close where it was probably going to start stalling here. So this is where if you just use this is where you don't want to get greedy. You may want to buy here, this area. Obviously, there's a gap fill, so you got to wait till maybe that fills and then maybe go long. But look at the volume. Look at the volume in this thing. This is the biggest volume for the year of 2024. We even surpass this volume of January 9th. And also another thing I was looking at when I was looking at this chart, look at the price section of last year. We exploded or made a high on January 9th, then a fail new high on the 12th, and then pummeled. So let's make sure that this doesn't play out here, or just be vigilant. Let's go into our simple glance chart. So far, Tom D. Mark 9th candle is going to kick in on January, but so far we're kind of chopping around the 50 SMA. As of right now, actually, we're below 369. The 200s around 361. So we're kind of chopping around there. MACD is still positive, still positive. Now, the weekly, however, is looking a little different. We just kissed a linear regression on the upper channel. So this is where you probably, this is my strategy. I start unloading here. If you were long from here, this is where you don't want to get too greedy. Even though, things get very parabolic, but this is where you want to at least take some off the table. In my opinion, you could do whatever you want to do, but this is where you don't want to get too greedy. And this is when you want to get aggressive. You can see that if we were to pull back on the pink or the purple, I'm kind of maybe colorblind. This is an area of interest, and this is an area of interest for me, buying at a discount, and also this area on the cloud. Is it going to pull back there? I don't know, but if it ever does into the future, next year, this could be an area that I'll be interested. So that's that. And then on the daily, let's maybe zoom in here. And so far, MACD is still positive. Everything is, everything is looking good. This is a 200, and that's 387. 200 SMA, and we're now right below it. Let's look at the daily real quick. This is a 2024, all this, and we're above the cloud on the short time frame, which is the daily, and the mid time frame, which is the weekly. However, the MACD is negative as of now. So was this thing just a spike just to bring in some bulls and then, drop it? I don't know. We'll see. Nothing looks, too suspicious, unless, you look at the weekly where you hit the linear regression channel. Maybe it could pull down, This is an area of interest for me. This area right here with the cloud, the linear regression channel. So far, it looks like it's just been holding the purple. So maybe this could be a nice little area. So we'll see. There's the 200, the 50, the 100, the 200 SMA. All this, mobiles are green, PPS buy signal, linear regression channel sloping higher or looking north. So that's good. And you got a PPS buy signal retracement. So I don't know if this move is going to continue, but so far that's the price action that we have as of today. Let's look at our geometry. Look at that. Look how perfect the geometry. Kiss the 75% from these anchored pivot points. And that was what? That was 417, and it went a little bit higher. Interesting. I should probably adjust this. I don't know where my point is right here. So somewhere, I don't know, I'll mess around with this. Somewhere around here, maybe 85 is our 45 degree 1 by 1, and now we are now below it. So there's that game of the back and forth. And so far, it's really getting aggressive and selling. Let's see if this 64 is going to hold. And mind you, this is, profit taking. People are probably just trying to get out, lock in some profit. They don't know if this is, a turning point, and from here we go down. But whatever this happened right here was insane. Let's see now if a 364 is going to hold. If not, it's probably going to do the, fill the gap. Using the channel, you can see that we kissed a 75%, failed the midpoint, and now we're out of the channel here. So we got our gap here. And let's leave it there. Let's see if 364 is going to hold. If not, it's going to fill the gap maybe for January 345. Let's see. And let's see our Gan Grid, which I believe this is the second impulse. You can see that we almost kissed the 1 by 1. And this is more related to the impulses. The first baby impulse that it made. Not the first one, but the second one. I spread all these Gann fans, and you can see that we almost kissed it. So let's see, maybe this holds right here. If not, it's going to fill the gap. Let's go into our midpoint real quick and just kind of do a replay. So we blew through it. When I say quadrants, these are the quadrants. These are smaller resistance levels that I look at. You can see that it blew right through it. at 421, you can see that this was a high, I believe, of last year, 439. And as of right now, our high is 420 for 2025. Mobiles are good, although this looks like a very ugly doji building up, but we'll see. And snapbacks. So let's see if we could still at least stay above, 316 and 286 for next year. And that's using our yearly pivot. And looking at our monthly pivot, you can see that we blew through this quadrant. These are bigger targets I have, and look, I went to 420. But you see that the market profile gave us more of an edge and not my midpoint. So that's something to keep mindful of when you do your analysis. So these things didn't work out. Where are we? Right here, 369. Yeah, this would be important. 359 for January. Let's look at, and the mobiles are digging in a little bit, but still positive. They're back in chop zone. So you see that now we're back into the chop fest again. Like it shoots out, then it gets back in, and maybe it'll shoot back down, then it gets back in, and it'll probably do this game until it really does a swing high. And this looks like signature of maybe a possible turning point or swing high and then start going like this. But that's me just speculating. Let's look at our 4-hour chart. And now the 4-hour is interesting because the 4-hour, if we put this a little lower, you can see that it kissed the quadrant on the weekly on the 4-hour. So this is a weekly pivots, and it kissed it by, was it 418, and it went to 420. So if it would have gone higher, this would have been the next target, which is a 436. That would have been an amazing move. So far, the 4-hour worked out well. And now we're entering into the midpoint of the week, or of this week, which is 365. So let's see if this holds. So we got this gap, change of contract gap here, price action gap here, fill this gap, pushed even higher. Now we have this gap that needs to get filled. And mobiles are digging in now, and Stokes are unwinding. And you got a PPSL signal on the 4-hour, unless you can get back into 372, 374. And mind you, you are below 384, 385, which is the 1x1 on our scale chart. So it's official that we're now below the 1x1, so it's a little more on the weaker side. However, we need to see if this is going to hold. This is a good area of support, 365. If it kisses that and just kind of fluctuates around here, tomorrow's going to be closed, so it'll be exciting to see what the open is. I believe on Tuesday, if there's any gaps, to the downside or to the upside. Being aware that the weather's getting a little weird out here. It's kind of windy here in Nashville. And lastly is look at our hourly. There was anything on the hourly for clues? So no, we didn't really have not much on the hourly. Our last pivot was all the way here, and in the overnight, it just shot up. But now we are below your midpoint for today only, which is 392. So there's probably going to be support coming into here around 365. So we'll see if this is going to hold. This was the low in the overnight session of yesterday. But so far it's still looking and then you're now below the 200 SMA. So let's see how this is all going to play out. I'm on the sidelines. I did a nice scalp here, but I got stopped out. So let's see what's the price action. I'm not expecting much. I mean, I'm not expecting a move like this today, but you never know. But let's see. You got your key levels. The important things. You're below the 1x1 as of now. It's like 384, 385, and this is a nice area of support. And let's see if this is going to hold. I'm going to sign out. Hope you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on that, guys.